Alright, hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between Team Liquid and Mouz here on Blistering Sands. This is going to be game 1 in a best of 7 series between these two clans. We have LiquidRet spawning as the blue Zerg player here on Blistering Sands. Meanwhile, we have MouzMorrow spawning as the purple Zerg. This is part of the Machinima Realm Invitational. This is game 1. I just looked over the schedule and it looks like all game 1s will be Zerg versus Zerg, so lucky me. Hopefully the games will be relatively interesting and not always be the Zergling, Baneling, mass tier 1 that I've known Zerg versus Zerg to be. There are these backdoor rocks, but not 100% sure whether or not they will be used, as Zerglings do have a rather difficult time trying to take down these rocks as they're not able to get a decent surround. And with the natural armor of 3, Zerglings only deal 2 damage per attack. Now opening up, we already see Red opening up with a rather fast spawning pool. This is going to be a 9 spawning pool, people, so this is not your typical spawning pool by any means. Meanwhile, we see MouzMorrow sitting at 13/18, and he does have a decently strong economy going for him. But if he tries to go for a 14 hatchery, I believe that he will find himself on the wrong end of those Zergling claws in just a moment, as Red's spawning pool is already nearing completion, now getting that 1 extractor and now canceling it to get over 11/10 food. He is finally training up 1 overlord, and he will have about 3 larvae the instant that spawning pool is done. So very, very early 6 Zerglings. We now see Morrow, moving down with a hatchery, and this is not going to be good for him at all. So a hatchery now coming into play, and Red will be able to rush with those Zerglings relatively easily. Only 24 building time, the Zerglings will be out. We do see an extractor before a spawning pool, and now finally in comes that spawning pool, but that spawning pool will be severely delayed. Absolutely severely delayed, as these Zerglings now trying to make their way out and try to deal some damage. And back over here, we see the hatchery about halfway completed as these Zerglings now make their way across the map. The Zerglings are trying to do some early scouting. The Overlord will be able to reveal this hatchery in just a moment. Will this Overlord catch sight of those Zerglings? Yes, he does see those Zerglings now coming in. And what exactly can he do? He can't do really all too much. This one hatchery needs to actually try to absorb some damage. No, Red gonna simply ignore the hatchery on the low ground and then walk up the ramp and try to deal damage. We do see a fair amount of drones over here, not mining any gas any longer, as those drones are now trying to pull away. Needs to get a little bit more minerals in order to be able to fight back with Zerglings. Will those drones even drop off some minerals? And now, no, not going to even be able to drop off those minerals, as those drones just trying to run around. And now the drones come in and get a decent surround on some of those Zerglings. The Zerglings now being forced to pull back here, as wow, this whole entire early aggression is not really working out all too well, as those drones are able to come around, get another surround on a Zergling, and now fresh Zerglings now coming in off from this hatchery down over here. So nicely done, and MouzMorrow responding very, very well with just standard drones and decent micro. And now we see that Red is going to be in trouble. Red needs to get some stationary defense. He is power droning. He does have the benefit of getting that queen out a little bit earlier, so he does have a decent number of larvae. You can take a look at the drone difference right now. 20 drones for Red. Morrow now sitting at 14, as he was forced to try to train up some additional Zerglings in that fight and that engagement so far. Zerglings now making their way out, coming in from Morrow. So Morrow will be coming up here and being able to deal some damage towards this one hatchery. I believe the hatchery will be cancelled in just a moment, as the Zergling now tries to run up over here. And now Morrow just doing a little bit of scouting. However, the queen may be able to take it down. Down it goes. The Zergling still trying to peck away at this one hatchery, and now the Zerglings over here are going to be able to do a little bit of a surround. One Zergling taken down. Zergling micro back and forth, and this hatchery will go down. So Red severely in trouble now, as Morrow will be able to mine off of 2 hatcheries. Zerglings now trying to come back once again, as a queen now lowers itself onto that low ground, trying to offer a little bit of protection. Morrow does have metabolic boost under research, now training up even more Zerglings. Taking a look at the unit combination, we see Red sitting on 23 drones, meanwhile Morrow sitting on 19. So it looks as though, yeah, Red is just currently trying to power drone his way through this game, trying to get a stronger economy, and this is still anyone's game, folks. Army sizes are about even. You can see Red trying to sit on a couple of Zerglings down over here, getting even a larger number of Zerglings once again, and that early queen really did help out a lot. The problem is now that Morrow is able to mine off of 16 mineral patches, he should have a little bit of a stronger economy, and even though he is down on harvesters, you can see that his economy is about neck and neck with LiquidRet so far. So both sides now moving out. It's going to be Zergling Micro going back and forth now. We are still mining some gas coming in from Red, only mining with about 2 of those drones, so he may be able to get some roaches in just a moment. The Zergling's now trying to test the waters on this front door. Maybe has to be careful, as Red gonna be in a little bit of trouble with the speedling boost already coming in, and now both sides trying to flank each other, and that one queen may be all the difference. No, quickly gonna get surrounded, and down it goes. Zergling's not just going to simply run up this ramp, as Morrow has a lot of Zerglings, both sides fighting on creep. In comes another queen once again. Purple versus blue, trying to get a decent surround, and now trying to get within range again. Red is in trouble. He is going to lose that one queen, and now both queens are taking down. His production will be severely slowed as those Zerglings are just dancing back and forth inside this base very, very easily. And perhaps going to be able to get some damage onto some of these drones, just running straight through the mineral line and now fighting its way through, pecking away. Drones trying to come in on that fight as well, but I think Red is going to be in trouble. As you can see, Morrow just funneling in more and more and more Zerglings from behind. I'm going to come back over here and now engage once again. Both sides having a large number of Zerglings. Morrow now trying to run up with those Zerglings again. No, going after the hatchery. And both sides just have to be very careful, as positioning is all that's going to really matter. But Red is in a lot of trouble. No queens, and yeah, no queens, and no, not that many drones, only some roaches, and yeah, Red says GG. So a very fast game here on Blistering Sands. Red opening up with a 9 pool instead of your standard 13 or 14 pool, hoping to abuse and get a lot of damage onto Morrow. Morrow did in fact go for a 14 hatchery, but he was still somehow able to get that hatchery down, then get an extractor and get that spawning pool with those drones. The drones being positioned very well, he was able to fight back against that 6 Zergling rush. Red then was able to come back with a very early queen and power drone his way through, getting a very, very strong economy. But by sacrificing some of his larva for drones in order to catch up, Morrow ended up just having 4 to 6 more Zerglings and was able to just come in and take the win. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Morrow and Red, Game 1 here on Blistering Sands. And obviously, Mouz taking Game 1 and a 1-0 lead into Game 2.